Make sure everything is set up. Perfect. YouTube is working and we can get started. Welcome, guys. I know that the market isn't being too kind to us spot holders, all of the long-term crypto believers, but you can come in tonight, we can hang out, we can try to find some newer plays and find ways to still make money while the market is in a downturn. Although I do recall, I just looked at the Solana price. It seems to be doing a little bit better relatively than some of the other majors. So we'll see. Today I can give you a quick overview of what we went into today. So because Solana was 130, I had a lot of dust sitting in some positions that that I could have gotten out of. So for example, one of the recent pools that I was in is Incog. I actually ended up getting out around this 388 mark, and I am just happy to convert a lot of fees to Solana right now because of how low it is. So I also went down towards the bottom is kind of my graveyard of plays. Like Hutch was a graveyard play. I held this to 0 basically. I'm not proud of it. 6-7 was another one. I'm keeping these two because out of all the other ones that I was holding, these two were kind of my more conviction bags. Hutch was such a big position at one point, and it's pretty sad that I have lost so much on it because I was up so much on it at one point. But like I said, I think you guys know how my October went. And then, yes, so these are the only two real graveyard plays I'm still holding. But anyways, like I was saying, I went and cleaned up a lot. I just sold the bags. I sold my dust and converted it to soul, so I ended up stacking a lot. And somehow, in the process of all of this, I I'm now at 147 Solana as opposed to 136 yesterday. So I think the Solana depreciation with some of the bags kind of allowed me to get a lot more. Yo, CMCT did mid. Yes, Ryan. I didn't even wake up actually. I didn't even wake up to trade it. But I did see it had a move at the beginning of the day. So guys, in the TikTok chat, we are live on the LP Army YouTube today. They are hosting me every Monday, so I've been coming on here, and we try to keep the streams a lot more educational and focused on the YouTube chat because I try to cater to the people that are asking questions specifically about Meteora. But I'll try to keep an eye on the TikTok chat. Just know that I'm not going to be as active. So apologies in advance for that, but I'm going to try to get some more eyes on the YouTube stream, and then we can get into some stuff. Alright, we plugged it in. But anyways, hopefully a lot of the DLMM people will know more what I'm talking about, so even though I went over that whole explanation. Any YouTube gangers? We can continue on though. Sorry, I'm not really going to be looking at the TikTok chat much. I already warned you. I'm going to go over. So ZKSL is something that I'm in. I'm still in pretty deep. It didn't really have the most ideal move down because it came down to here. I got this one bigger spike, and then it started not moving as much. So I'm very, very close to the bottom of my range in my pools on this one. And then I have a deeper one a little bit more below. I can show you here. Yeah, so this one I'm only 72 bucks deep, and then this one I'm almost entirely through the range, so bounce here would be very ideal. I'm gonna have to cut this if it goes below this this bottom of the range, or maybe I'll rebalance, because I did that on Incog and it worked pretty well. So on Incog, let me give you an idea. I'll give you a quick rundown. of what really happened on this play. So basically what happened, I always tell you guys to cut your losses when you get out of range, right? But on this one, I set up my range. My initial range was right here, and then I set up another range down to here. On this one, I made it too tight, and even though it had earned so much in fees on the way down, I didn't realize it was out of range until I checked around right here. I guess it was 2 nights ago at this point, and I ended up selling half of my tokens here. Sorry, I'm losing my track. So I withdrew the position here. This initial position, right, that was out of range. I sold half of the tokens on Jupiter, and then instead of just cutting the loss and moving on, which I could have done, I wanted to get fancy because I believe that this token would still continue to get volume because it's being promoted by this Nikolai guy. Like I said previously, he is not the most, I don't love the way he goes about things in terms of promoting tokens and pumping them, but he does have a lot of social media presence, and I have seen the reels and the TikToks that he did for Worthless Coin, which actually had a pretty successful run for a good bit. I'm pretty sure it's probably at 0 now, but regardless, he had a pretty good run on that. So that was my thesis and kind of where I got some of my confidence for this play. So anyways, regardless, right, we're at right here. I'm out of range on my initial pool. I sell half, and I actually open up another range, 2-sided, to kind of mimic me still being in range here. So that might not make too much sense for you, but if you guys have been using LPs, you know what I'm talking about. And then it came up to here today, and then I just sold everything and I got out and converted to Solana. So that's how we did it there. Troll, pretty interesting case here. I wanted to talk about this. I had this chart pulled up. So Troll was one of my long-term pools. I forget how long ago I set this up. It was a very, very long time ago. Maybe the beginning of August even, after it had this pump. And I believe, I'm trying to think, I can't see what the range is anymore. But basically, I had a range open something like this. Something like this was my range. It was roughly, might have even been a little bit tighter. It might have been like 50%. But basically, I am always telling you guys, right, that 50% of a meme coin isn't that much. Now, on a major like this, it really is common that you're going to want to put in a tighter range because you can be more confident in it. Something that's 182 mil market cap isn't going to rug straight to 0 usually. So on something like this that you have more confidence in and the fees are going to be lower, it's usually ideal to go a tight range, right? And this pool was major in profit for a while, but I stayed in it for, you know, about, what is that, 3 months now? So about 2.5 months, something like that. I was in this, right? So it's just been forever. I've made a good amount of fees, but at the end of this, right, I went up 50% range. At the end of this, it dropped out, and I now have sold today and taken the L. So that's just more reason why I always say 50% ranges. While they're ideal if you want to get in and out, they're just not super beneficial because meme coins can just drop lower and lower than you ever expect. Okay, so there's no one in the YouTube comments right now, so I'm going to look at TikTok right now. How you screen token? Yes, sir. Do you have a recording of the 1 to 100 Solana challenge? So I really started streaming when I was at about 60 or 70 Sol back in like March. So if you wanted to go back and look at all the recordings, you probably could, but have you seen Donica? I had friends that were in Donica today. I feel like I was trying to put out a lot of social media content today, so I wasn't really looking at newer plays, and obviously the market was getting wrecked. It was more about portfolio management today and acquiring some more Solana, so but I did have friends that printed pretty decently on this. And honestly, if you're in some sort of pool from even right here to like right here, wouldn't really be bad to be in, because it's still getting decent volume. I guess it's not getting amazing volume, but it's a very low market cap, and the volume on it is going to give better fees, so that is why this ended up working out so well to those who were maybe LPing it back here, maybe using some sort of heartbreaker strategy. But me personally, if I saw this early and it was actually going crazy, but even here though, the only thing I'll say about it, what I wouldn't have is, oh no, it went to 1 mil. Okay, I was gonna say, I thought it went lower, but yes, once it gets to 1 mil, it's getting this good volume. I could definitely have seen myself setting something up like from here to probably 200 is what I would go, and then obviously you get this move, watch it, maybe you still stay in, and then you get some action here, and then hopefully you can sell on the run up. That would have been something very ideal, but even if you're playing it after, this range is probably a little bit too short now that it's down here. But if you had closed out and you were watching it break down like this, still getting good volume, still getting decent price action, you could have set up maybe another range that would cover something pretty low. 6-7, yeah, I have seen 6-7 running. Check out Amex. I'll do that later, Ryan. Like I said, we are actually on the Meteora, the LP Army YouTube today. They're hosting me for the Monday night stream that we have agreed upon. So I'm gonna try to keep it focused, even though we don't have any comments yet. I'm gonna try to keep it focused on DLMMs and Meteora stuff tonight. But maybe if I get off and I continue on TikTok later, we can look at some stocks. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be looking at that right now. Fa finally went right, Otto. I still have let's see how much of it. Fa really blessed me. I was kind of throwing on some of my plays in like you guys know in October or whatever it was. Whoa! Fa is actually sending. Whoa. Dang, if I had my... Yep, this is where I'm selling. I'm selling here. Let's fucking go, bro. Let's fucking go. I'm full clipping it. I don't even care. Yep. Just like that. I was gonna sell the rest at 1 mil. That was my plan. Bang. Let's go. I can't believe that happened on stream. That's so crazy. Bro, Fa was officially an... I played this very well. I will toot my own horn on this one. Oh my gosh. That's like a plus like 12 soul play, low-key, all in all. Ooh, my heart's beating right now. Damn, I cooked on that. I'll show you. I think I can show you my my exits here. Where's me? Who just clipped? This is me. These are my sells on Fa. Tell me that's not pretty goated, right? Why did Fa send today? I don't know. I think it's just I think it's a decent meme. It was holding up very well when the market was going down. Oh boy. Okay, I kind of want to calculate what the portfolio is at now because I want to update it. Oh my gosh, that's so hype, bro. Here, I'll show you guys on screen. 8020 plus 2670 divided by 133.31. 150. We made it to 150 today, boys. We made it to 150 Solana. Off of Fa. Dang, it's really sad that there's like no one in the YouTube chat because Fa is honestly something I've been talking about for so long now, and it actually played out, so that's pretty cool. Alright, I'm done glazing myself. Sorry guys. Like I said, Alex and Otto, I love you guys, but I'm trying to really keep it focused on Meteor today and not pay too much attention to the TikTok. Show P&L for this month. Bro, you can just go ahead and look at my I don't know. I don't really want to give you my wallet addy, so Let me see if I can find it on a different site and show you. Sorry. I just would prefer, I mean, you could easily find my wallet if you knew what you're doing, and that's fine if you want to, but I'm not gonna like broadcast it publicly, you know what I mean? I'm trying to find it, Adam. Chill. Stop spamming the chat, brother. Do you want to play? What does that mean? How much soul you put in a trade? It really depends. Usually my LPs, which I'm teaching. So for those of you that have just joined, we use Meteora mostly to trade meme coins. 99% of the time when I'm opening a meme coin position or trade, I'm using it. I'm opening a liquidity pool on Meteora. Meteora allows you to farm fees based on price movements of the coin. So instead of maybe directionally trying to time a coin perfectly, Meteor allows you to open a liquidity pool. If it drops into your liquidity pool, you're going to get fees when it goes up and down, gets volume, so you can get money when it goes sideways. And that's basically how we are able to get exposure and how we are able to be consistently profitable trading meme coins for over the past year. I don't think so. I think it's not calculating the what's it called? My total. It's not calculating the fees I haven't claimed, so it's saying 131, but it's really 150. But this is the PNL. I don't know why it's saying I'm -2 today. I don't know why. This is not entirely correct, but this is the 1 month PNL. I finally found it. Google tummy sticks cutie pie. Clocaine says, so you're just buying and staking. Not necessarily staking. So I can go over it since we have 31 viewers on TikTok. Still, it looks like 1 viewer on YouTube. That's entirely okay. We can onboard some more people to Meteor. So how does Meteor work? So basically, you are not staking the token, but what Meteor allows you to do is instead of it's basically a platform that allows you to choose a specified range, right? Maybe -50% down of the coin, and it allows you to put in Solana, and it spreads it out in certain ways that you can customize, right? So basically, when I'm drawing these lines, think of them as separate buy limit orders, right, of the coin. And Meteora automatically spreads out your Solana all the way down from the current price to -50%. You can customize, you can make whatever range you want. I'm usually going at least -80% most of the time, because think about it. When a coin drops down 50%, that's really nothing. It can drop another 50% like that. So when you go -75%, that's actually going to be 2 -50% moves. I'm getting distracted. But anyways, I go wide ranges, and I spread my Solana out through a very, very large range. Now, the way that Meteor works, you have your Solana in this range, in this pool. It's broken up between a bunch of different price points, right? There's Solana right here as a buy order. There's Solana here as a buy order. So when the token goes down, right, your Solana starts to get converted to the token. So let's say we're now 3 bars down, let's say. These 3 bars, now that the price has moved to here, these turn into actual sell orders. So your pool still exists. All of the limit orders stay static, but they change from limit buy orders to limit sell orders depending on how low it goes down, right? So the thing with Meteor is you are able to generate fees when it comes down into your range, right? You get fees in the token. And when it goes up in your range, you get fees in Solana. So ideally, you want to move around a bunch between these separate, we call them bins. But basically, these buy and sell orders, we want it to move around. This allows you to risk a lot less money, because think about it, right? You want exposure to this token. Your other option is to either buy it here, or you can set like a single limit order down here, right? Now, this scenario, buying it right here is only good if the token goes up. If the token comes down at all, like you don't want that scenario at all. So think about it. When you're buying something spot and straight out, you have to be perfect in your entry, or else you're going to be down at least some money. Now, I understand that people are saying, oh, well, you could DCA, right? You could, place a buy order here, place a buy order here, right? And then you're planning on it going down to here. You can create a position doing that. Okay, but why would you not use Meteora to do that? It does the same exact thing, and you are able to get fees, right? So that is just, it doesn't make sense to DCA in something without using Meteora. And if you want, instead of, so think about it. When the pool comes down to here, bounces around, let's say you put 1 Solana into this range, by the time it comes back out, because when your pool starts getting filled, it will start depreciating. The pool value will start depreciating, because think about it. This first limit order, once you go below that, now this limit order is staying here. So this is some token, and it's just depreciating as you go down. So you want to mitigate that. Your plan is to mitigate that with the fees you are receiving. Anyways, I'm going to take some comments. I lost my initial train of thought. But basically, when it's coming down, right, and it comes back up, if this pool was set up with 1 Solana, at this point, this pool would probably be worth around 0.8, 0.9 at this point in the graph. I mean, in the chart. So when it comes up, this pool is going to be worth 1 Sol again. And you will no longer have any exposure to this token in terms of being in a liquidity pool, but you can hold the fees that you generated in the token here, and that's how you can have some exposure if it goes up. That was a semi-decent explanation. I think I kind of missed some key points, but whatever. Hopefully that was... Do you know Crypto Chris? I actually do. I forgot that I knew him, and then someone was telling me that his videos were really good, and he sent me a video, and I was like, wait, yeah, I have actually seen this guy. I'm going to try to get a clip out of that. It was pretty all over the place, so not super ideal, but let me write this down 1 second. What is it, 11:17? Dang. That's crazy. Alright, well, I have to change the thing on the screen. It's 150 now. That's hype. Anyways, let's see what Fa ended up doing. I think I had a pretty decent sell on this. Do we want to pool this again, though? Here, actually, what I'm going to do, we're going to go, because I ended up bidding Fa again. Am I still the only liquidity in here, bro? How are people not seeing this? I'm actually going to sell the rest of my Fa here. I'm sorry. I'm probably not supporting the chart here, but it played out to my thesis. I'm going to take my win and walk away. That's the name of the game right now. Take your win, move on to the next one. Watch this thing go to like 3 mil. Oh my gosh. How tragic would that be? $150, fellas. We finally made it. Alright. Do I need to manage anything else right now? Is there anything else to look at? Here, I'll look at TikTok chat to see if you guys have any shills. KuCoin pre-built gridlock bot works the same way. Set a range. That's cool, but the thing is like the Meteora pools, they allow you to get such high fees on some pools that like the risk reward is so good to not be in some of these pools. How do you know if a meme coin is going to run and last? It's pretty hard. I honestly have been trying to play earlier tokens and trying to be more active, but like we can kind of test to Fa. I've been talking about this one for a long time, but this was just a very viral meme. And I'm actually going to pull up a few examples of coins that kind of made a similar move as Fa and why I decided to play them. Lion was one that had a similar look. What else am I thinking of? Gosh, why can I not think of them now? But anyways, basically we can use two examples here. So basically, top down meme. Also the original 6-7 coin, not the vamp one, not the official 6-7, which is now running like crazy. But initially this 6-7 coin. This one. I don't know if you guys can kind of see what I'm getting at here, but what do all three of these coins have in common, right? They all are very, very viral on social media, right? And they're not viral in the sense of it's one video and it's popular, it's getting retweeted for like a weekend. These are memes that like have, they root themselves in common conversation now. Like the lion, right? You've been hearing the memes about lion. That is something that you hear nearly every day now. 6-7 you hear nearly every day now, and fa is like the sound effect on the Instagram and TikTok edits that's like fa, you know what I mean? So when I saw this, right, these all have something in common. They all have this initial run, right? I ended up LPing line around right here, right? So I was LPing it this whole time. This got really sketchy because if you can see, it got very, very close to the bottom of my range. And like at this point in the chart, think about it. If I'm looking at the chart here, I remember looking at it here, I'm like, bro, this thing has to go. Like, but I liked the meme. And so I saw it got some volume. I'm still in range. I just made a good amount in fees on this move, right? Because I'm so deep in range here. This huge move up, I'm like, okay, I still like this meme actually. This is what I call a home run play, because this is something that I had a lot of confidence in. Keep in mind, there's a lot of plays recently that I had a lot of confidence in that didn't end up working out, that I held to zero. So, you know, you do have to be disciplined, but again, this is a home run that actually worked out. And my initial reasoning, right? Good meme had something like where it's a good run up at the beginning, right? The volume is all organic. Nothing about this chart screamed it was a farm or is manipulated. But anyways, I stuck with it. And keep in mind, this doesn't always fall into the common play because this is not going to be generating very many fees. There's not much fee generation at this point in the chart, right? It doesn't have much movement. But this volume spike gave me a lot of confidence. Someone bought it up entirely. It faded back down, had a strong move up, sold some fees here, held even higher, and then sold the rest at like 4.7 mil or something. Same thing with 6-7, right? This didn't have as much of an initial run. This down here was kind of the first spike, and this down here was kind of the first drop. But we did the same thing. We just tried to bid the bottom here, held on to it because it was a good meme, had organic volume, had organic price action. Went up high, sold. And it's not common, right? It's not common that you come across these memes, but someone had shilled me Fa back in the chat, in my TikTok chat so long ago. They shilled it to me when it was like back here, and I was like, it's actually a pretty good looking meme. I liked this section of the price action. I liked this volume. It seemed real to me. And then it had this first run. I ended up LPing it for a very long time. It got actually pretty close to the bottom of my range, but I stuck with it, and then it just kind of paid off. And as soon as it came up here, I actually sold half of it and then held the rest. And then it came up here, sold some, and then we just sold the rest. So those are what I consider, sorry, moral of the story is those are what I consider like home run plays where you're just LPing something, not necessarily because it has good fee generation, but because you believe in the meme. But regardless, the Meteora DLMMs, the liquidity pools, allowed me to gain exposure to it without risking so much and being so worried about the intraday price movements. Like when I'm in range here, I don't know if I mapped it out or not. Hopefully I did. Yes, I did. When I'm in range here, I'm allowed to just chill out. I don't have to worry each day, as long as it's not dumping out the bottom of my range. As long as it forms something right here where I'm still in range, I really don't have to worry that much. I just monitor it, and hopefully the thesis plays out. So, okay, I'm done talking. Enough of this. Teach us how to rug pull. How do you LP? What's up, guys? Sorry, I'm really not looking at the chat. I'm trying to keep, like I said, the stream more educational. But let me read some of the comments. LP Rome bro, LOL, and read chat more. I know Cloak. He's been saying LP Rome for like so long. I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. You can people know that I'm usually super attentive, but like I said, I'm trying to kind of jam pack this one with oh, I know this one. Damn, dude, this would have been really good. And honestly, I saw it. I had first saw it when it was back here. Someone had showed it to me on this initial run up, and then I saw this price action. This price action right here, the little like death cascade looking thing, I did not like, and then I stopped paying attention to it. But I see this bunny all the time, and it fits the exact narrative we were just talking about. So maybe it's not too late. Maybe this thing runs, but it seems like for a while I got punished. Like in October, as you guys know, I round tripped a good amount of money, not cutting my losses like I should be. But back then I was preaching the same thesis, like find these memes that have longevity and have social significance and just LP them. And honestly, I've hit some quicker cooks recently, but I think the big plays honestly end up coming from some of these, as you saw on Fa and whatnot. So this is actually interesting. We can go ahead and look at the pools in 1 second after I read chat. How do you LP meme coin? I'll show you in 1 second. Check 67 Jack Brody. Oh, what's up, 5? 67 Jack. It's probably just off the name 5. You know, I just don't like derivatives that much. But we can take a look at it. It's been so many different derivatives recently. Everyone was trading it, but probably not something I'm gonna LP. I'm really trying to be safe here. And I honestly haven't been trading too many new pairs, but this is something that I would try to get in and out really quick if I was LPing it, but I doubt there's even a pool for this one, low key. Gosh, I'm so behind on the TikTok chat. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, no pool yet. What were we looking at? Oh, this one. The Rome one. Can you show me how to LP it, Rome, from start to finish? Yes. Let me get ready to timestamp this because... When could you check stocks? Ryan, it probably won't be for another like 45 minutes. I just want to make sure I get enough content in here. ATC actually legit. I don't even know what that means, Canon actually. Why did you get banned from... I did not get banned from anyone's chat. What do you mean? It was probably a fake one of me, unfortunately. Nice, Jay. Nice trade. What's up, Kill? Gosh. I missed so much. Okay, I'm going back and we're about to set up an LP on Rome. Live made troll giving. What do you think? That's not gonna last. Any like seasonal coin I usually don't touch, and especially with Thanksgiving coming up pretty soon, they're gonna be looking to get in and get out of that very quickly. GNN Ghost Network coin project. Is Ghost, what's the ticker on that one? I'm gonna screen record it. Alright, bet. Cloak. LMAO. Hey, what's up, Crypto? What's up, Crypto God? LMAO, I remember that being shilled by a bunch of KOLs. Line's honestly getting some traction again. It kind of is. This might not be a bad buy. I'm not going to hold it. I probably wouldn't hold it to like 8 mil, and very rarely am I going to buy a token. I'm just saying. Doesn't look awful. LMAO. This was the... Yeah, a lot of KOLs were promoting this. I don't remember who it was. damn, honestly, not probably it's not something I resonate with. And I saw maybe it was like Solstice or someone that was showing this, but whoever it was, I didn't really enjoy that they were part of it. So not something I will touch most likely, but it's getting good volume, right? It's still getting 1 mil in volume every day. Not a bad LP to be in. And if you thought it might dip down again, obviously you can set up a range like this. Okay, we're going to get into how much do I need to get started with this. I'd recommend no less than $40 just because of the requirements that Meteora has. You have to deposit like $12 regardless of the position you open. You're going to get that money back, but you do need that to open these liquidity pools. What am I going to keep shilling? Send it. All right, you can screen record now, Cloak. So, we are going to set up a pool because Cloak in our chat wants to see how I would set up a LP on Rome. So we had initially said, right, this coin checks a lot of the boxes. Good meme. I don't honestly understand the whole lore behind it, but I see it on in Instagram comments like every single day a lot. So this is something that is obviously embedded it in society today and in like social media and stuff. So this checks the box of being viral. It's continued. It's been surviving for almost a whole month now. It had its initial run back in October. It's still surviving. So this checks off the box on good meme. The volume, I honestly didn't love. This looked a little bit farmy to me at the beginning, and the sell-off I didn't like. But you can see the volume is still continued. It's organic at this point, right? So that checks that box. Price action, good. So we are going to set up a LP on this. So when you are setting up an LP in the way that I usually teach it, 95% of the time, I'm going to open it on the bid side, right? So the current price is here, and I want to gain exposure from, we're going to do it in market cap. How about that? So we are going to, the current price is 1.74 mil. How low do we think it's going to go? Right, we want to predict worst case scenario. This thing doesn't end up keep going up. It's going to have another move down. How low do we think this move down is going to go? Is what you want to be asking. Usually, I go very, very deep. Usually, I go at least minus 85%, minus 87%. Because keep in mind, when you go minus 50%, which would be around 800, like 850, right? This might seem like a lot of space here, but it's really not, right? This thing can go to 894 like nothing. So I'm going to show you how we can map it out, right? So minus 50% from here is going to be right here. Another minus 50% from here is going to be this, right? And we're just mapping out these levels before we set up the range so you guys can see how it works, right? 2 minus 50% move down. This actually correlates to minus 75%. Now, if we think it's going to go even lower, we can do another minus 50%. Right? Now this range is going to be minus 87%. Minus 88%, right? Minus 87%. So keep in mind, when you're setting up your range, you're going to see how it works in a second. Keep in mind the percentages that you want to cover on your range. Just to be safe, we're actually going to go ahead and do minus 87%. So now that we have all this mapped out, we're going to go ahead and copy the CA, go to Meteora. I use edge.meteora.ag. Go here. You can just go to the home page, go to this initial search bar, paste the CA. There's no pools found. Wait. Meteora has been kind of glitching out here. No, that can't be right. There's no way there's not a pool on Rome. Well, that just killed the entire clip because there's no pools made on this coin somehow. Is that real? No, there is. Okay, resume the clip. There is a pool here. For some reason, the Meteora search bar hasn't been working that well. So we're going to find, usually that works, right? You paste the CA, but I'm going to show you a different way to get to the pool. So we are going to go to the one that has the most liquidity, which is this one, right? This one has 3.1k. The other pools have, oh no, this has 32k. So we're actually going to go to this one. And then you can see this pool has 448. So we're almost always going to want to enter the pool that has the most TVL. So this one, right? Now hopefully we can get into a pool this way. So what I did was, sorry, this is like super complicated. You usually don't have to do this, but because Meteora is not pulling up the pools, right? I'm going to copy this pair address, the pair address on the deck screener, and we're going to go to a pool page, and then we are going to, wait, I don't even know if this is going to work. And then we're going to paste it here. I really hope it works. Why is it showing me no pool found? Well, this is kind of a roadblock. Because there is a pool that exists, but Meteora is not allowing me to find it. This can't be right. Let's try this. I don't know why it's not working, man. I'm going to try the other Meteor page. Dang, that was going to be such a good clip, man. But Meteor didn't want me to win today. I don't get it. Alright, real quick. Holy tabs, I know. Cloak, real quick, I'm going to show you how we would set it up if we could get into the pool. So, right, we have the CA. Let's say we open the pool, right? Here's the pool. Actually, we're going to do it on Santa. So let's say we have our thing. We have the pool. This is the main page. So when you enter the pool, this is going to be your layout. And usually you're not going to have a position here, so this is going to be blank. Now, what you want to do next is you're going to want to go to Add Position. Autofill is usually going to be on. Turn this off so you can go one-sided. And now I'm going to be able to go, right, however much money I want to put in. Usually my position size when I'm going 87% range is usually 5 to 6 Solana. So here I'm going to go 5, right? Hit bid ask, which is going to allow you to have more of your liquidity towards the bottom of your range. This is going to protect you if the token dumps very deep. Because think about it, your position sizing, think about the bid orders are closest up here. These are smaller, so if the price goes down heavily, you're not going to have as much exposure up here to the token. If you want spot, which is all even, right, your tokens are going to depreciate more. You're going to get more in fees if it moves around at this price point, but if it goes down to here, you're going to suffer more in token depreciation. So anyways, how would we set it up, right? I'm going one-sided. Now, remember, let's go back to our roam chart. This is the worst explanation ever. It's because I have too many screens on, or too many tabs. So our roam chart, right? We wanted to cover minus 87%. So going back to here, we are going to go down here and type in 87%. Now, you can see that we are able to accomplish this range. Usually, you're not going to have to pay non-refundable SOL. Sorry, there's a lot of caveats on this one. It's really not good. Usually this is going to always be refundable, but you're going to make this range, right, minus 87%, and that's how you open it. Then you hit add liquidity, you're going to pay whatever, you're going to open your position, and now you are set up. You really don't have to monitor your position that much. As soon as you open it, right, it's not going to have a bunch of price movement within your pool because you're going so wide, but that is exactly how I would do it on Roam. But we are going to look on Twitter real quick and see if anyone can tell us how to find Meteor pools that are hidden right now, because this is not working, and I'm very confident we can definitely set up a pool, but I just wanted to give you that explanation real quick for the future. How to find Meteora pools. Meteora pools not showing up. You will need the pool address. If it is a DLMM, go to any DLMM pool like Sol USDC. You only need the first part. After the DLMM slash, post the address you copied. It will direct you to the pool. I thought I did that. No? I'm so confused, man. Sorry, chat. I'm trying to get this done, and it's not being very cooperative, so just bear with me, please. We got it. Cloak, are you still here? We found the pool. So what you have to do, right, if you're still recording this, I know this is so long-winded at this point, but I'm going to show you how we're actually going to set everything up here, right? What we did is we went to, we searched Rome. Because of the way Meteor is acting right now, this is just how we have to do it. Always find the DLMM with the most liquidity, because that's usually going to get the most order flow. So, right, we looked around. No other pools exist. This one has the most liquidity. Click on this pair on Deck Screener. Now you're going to scroll down, go to the pair address, copy that. Go to any Meteor pool, right, no matter where it is. So on the home page, you could go to even Sol USDC, right? In this address bar up here, you're going to delete everything. Don't include this last bit like I was doing before. Just paste the pair address, and it will take you to the pool. Now that we have that, remember we wanted to go minus 87%, so we're going to throw in our 5 Solana here. Bid ask, minus 87. Good to go. Add liquidity. We've opened it, and we're actually going to throw 1 Sol spot. Now that you open your position, if you want a little bit more exposure and you don't want to go entirely bid ask, if you want to have some spot, if you think it's not going to dip very low, you can add in a little bit of spot on top of it, which is what I'm going to do now. So we're going to increase this to a 6 Sol total position, and now we are set up. We're good to go. All right, we finally got that done. Chat, how we feeling? Does that make sense? I know that was like really like bouncing all over the place, but Cloak says okay. Holy tabs. Yeah, we're going to get rid of some of this stuff. ZKSL, I do actually kind of need to worry about that. 6/7s, you can go away. Hope. Pretty weak in my opinion. This is the Rome pool we were on. Donica, not bad, but like, not great. Damn, Fa is still going, bro. That's wild. What did it actually get up to? It actually got up to 1 mil. What did I sell at? Like 900? I think I did sell at 900, so good to go on that. Rome got a bid set up. We can get out of that. Our example is gone. Gosh, that was the worst. That took me so long to do, man. Not good, not good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to clip that. If Rome hits all-time highs, it's going to like 10 mil. I have no idea. I don't know how high this thing could go. It seems pretty strong, but I try to, right? What I just set up here, if this token for some reason just goes straight up, nothing's going to happen, right? My pool is not going to get any action. I'm not going to have any exposure to this token. The only way that I get exposure to this token is if it comes down to, if it bounces around to here, hangs out in my range, because keep in mind my range is something like this. So in between here is where I'm going to have exposure. So I really need this thing to come down and have some good movement in my pool for me to really benefit off this token at all. And if it doesn't, then I don't lose anything, I don't gain anything, right? No skin off my back. But the reason I said that is because I don't really have a specific price target. I'm going to see what it does. If it comes down to here, I'm going to be happy if it's ranging here and getting some good movement because I'll be generating fees. And then obviously if it starts breaking up to here, let's say it has a move up and then starts doing something like this, right? Then I am going to try to plan to sell some fees on this spike. And if it's really strong, obviously we can make another pool, rebid it for higher. But that is just a very big what if. I'm just saying that's my plan if it does end up doing something like that. If for some reason this token does not do that, if for some reason, let's say worst case scenario, it starts bleeding out, maybe gets one more spike and then falls towards the bottom of my range here, at this point I'm going to be out of range and I'm going to just have to go ahead, withdraw my pool, sell it on Jupiter, cut the loss, and move on. So if it breaks below this point, that's where you take the loss. But yes, ideal scenario, something like this, bounces around, gets some movement, and then comes back up. How we feeling about that, fellas? Also, if you want to, go ahead and support your boy. LP Army TV is the YouTube channel I'm live on. It's the official Meteor Community YouTube channel, so if you want to go ahead to them at LP Army TV, subscribe, like this video, would mean a lot. If you do that, I know it probably doesn't mean much to you, but if you would like to go do that, just send me a DM that you did that and I will follow you back on TikTok or X, whatever you want. Since we have everyone on TikTok right now, feel free to follow me on Twitter at CrimeXBT, no period, on Twitter, and I will follow all you guys back. How much could that make you with your 6 Soul LP? When did you start trading? So I started with stocks actually back in I started learning in 2016. I probably didn't start trading until like 2020, and then I've been doing meme coins for about 2 years now. Meteora for about 1 year and 1 year and a few months, 3 months, 4 months, something like that. Thanks, I learned something. I was wanting answers too. Of course. Hey, thank you guys for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Follow all you guys back. But yes, hopefully you guys had learned something there. I guess we can take a look now that we don't have too much to do. We've gone over some lessons. We can look at some more coins. I briefly looked through the deck screener homepage, which, believe it or not, I always like to look here and see what kind of metas are going on. Not the worst meme, maybe like a B-. I'm pretty sure they changed the branding on this. I think they changed the header, so maybe that's why it's looking a little bit weak. If you wanted to try to bottom catch this, you could set up something like a range. And honestly, I might do it just for a test run from here to I don't know, 50k. I don't even know what range that would consist of. But you could do something like that and try to bottom catch it. It's really not my favorite meme, so I'm probably not going to do that. But if you wanted to, try to get creative and maybe touch a play that you don't consider A+, it's not, maybe like a B-, maybe a straight flat B. Sorry. How much could I make with the 6 Solana in the LP? So it really depends. I don't know how well this this pool is going to generate fees. It really can depend. This is actually the DLMM chart. Let me go to this one. So it really depends. This isn't even the right one either, my bad. I'm going to give you some scenarios real quick. Right? So this, you know how I was telling you, right? Minus 50%, minus 50%, minus 50%. All of these ranges, these 3 minus 50% moves are all covered in this 87% range I set up, right? So think about it. My liquidity is basically set up like this at this point. Bang, with the biggest size down here. Bang, bang. And it's actually going to get smaller as we come up. This curve is looking really, really bad now. But hopefully you can kind of understand, right? It starts small and gets deeper as it goes down. So if for some reason the coin goes right here and comes back up, my pool, right? My pool, it's only going to go down to this little tip, we just got a little bit filled, as you can see. It's only gonna get a little bit in fees and then come back up, right? I'm really not gonna make much. I might make $5 or $10 if it hangs around here and comes back up. However, right, and that's what this arrow represents. However, if something comes like this, bounces around deeper here, and comes back up, then I might make maybe $100 or $50, right? Because it got deeper into my range and had to move up. Now let's say it does something like this, right, and just ranges forever. This obviously wouldn't happen. Here, I'm gonna draw something a little bit more realistic, right? Spike right here, right? Fizzles down, spike right here, right? Fizzles down, spike right here. Fizzles down, spike right here. Here, because I've been in range for so long and I've had so much in price movement, I might make 2 SOL off of this one, right? Maybe $300 or $400, right? In this scenario. And it depends where I would sell to, right? Because something like this could happen, right? Let's say it actually has a very big downturn and is doing something like this coming down. It gets very deep in my range, right? And let's say it has one little spike. Off of the 6 SOL I put in, at this point, I'd probably be up 1.5. And I'm just guesstimating here, but you can kind of think of my estimates because I've been in so many of these. So even though, right, the magic about DLMM is even though I started my range up here and it's come down, had this bounce, it's still not where I started my range, but I can get out for profit here. So, right, I set it up imperfectly. I set it up too early, technically, and now it's here. So traditionally I'd be down, but because the DLMMs allowed me to earn fees, on this spike, I can get out with profit. So that's another scenario, right? But the most ideal scenario, right, is if it does something like this, comes down, has a spike. I'm thinking about Lion right here, right? It's getting some good movement here, starts doing something like this, and explodes up. This is where you can hit home run plays, right? Because let's say you're holding your fees here. Now you're going to have like $500 worth of the token fee. If it does this whole move and comes back out with what I put in, yes, I'll probably have about $500 worth of fees at this point in time. Now I can sell here. What I normally do is I sell some here, and then if it keeps ripping, right, I sell more up here. And then if it comes down, right, you can decide if you want to play it again. And, you know, at this point, you're turning into a trader, and you're trying to sell on the way up. So it's really up to you and your experience and your insight and instinct where and how you want to get out of these positions. But if it does something like this, obviously, this is the most ideal scenario because you're going to have a ton in fees. You're going to be in it for a while, and it's going to finally explode up. Something like Fa or Lion, which we were showing earlier. Rome, the nice token. What's up, Fareeze? How you doing, brother? First comment in YouTube. And if you guys want to hang out here, if you want priority replies, go ahead and go to LP Army, @LP Army, youtube.com/@LP Army. Go there, and I will for sure get to your comments if you type them in here. I'll use that as motivation, but I'll keep an eye on TikTok as well. With this only investing like 300, yes, Armand. So the beauty about Meteor is you don't need to have too much to start, right? I started this wallet, which is now at 150 Solana. Crazy to say that. But I started this with 1.5 Solana on August 1st of last year. Basically doing the same exact strategy I'm showing you guys right here. This strategy hasn't changed for me in about 1.2 years. I said 1.2, like a year and a few months, right? I've been doing this forever now, and it has continuously worked. Do you work for Meteora? I do not technically work for Meteora. I'm trying to become more affiliated. They're not paying me to do any of this, but I am trying to create content for their platform because 99% of the time when I'm trading, I'm using their platform, and it's their platform that has allowed me to be so profitable, so consistent for over a year now, which is absolutely absurd. It's allowed me to continue to have exposure in meme coins and have confidence doing this stuff. So I'm always going to endorse their platform, whether they pay me or not, and you really can't say that about most platforms out there. So good on them for just creating some of the best tech in Solana right now. Freeze, sorry, I didn't respond to you. Let me try to find, I don't think Rome is a bad token, no. I just set up a pool on it on stream. and it's something that's probably going to be a slower cook, but it had some more volume today. I'm willing to bid this. I went really deep on it, so I'm not really going to be in trouble if it does something like this. I'm probably not even going to be too much in range if it does something like this and comes back up. But like I said, if it does end up doing something like this, has a little bit of movement, I'll be happy to have a pool open on it and have some exposure to it. You could have just traded it and flipped it to more. I don't believe that. Because when you're trading, I've already kind of gone over why it's way harder to trade than it is to use Meteora. When you're trading, you have to be perfect, right? Let's say I buy this coin here. I'm instantly exposed. If it goes down, I'm in trouble. If it goes down even 1%, I'm not in profit. But with Meteora, you are allowed to have exposure to meme coins and not risk as much, right? Because all of your liquidity is spread out. And you can be more imperfect, right? Because when you're traditionally trading, you need it to go up if you're in it. But here, if I'm LPing it, if it comes down and just moves up and down, up and down, up and down, I'm earning fees while whoever bought up here is just holding it and hoping it comes up, which is really just the difference in why it's so powerful of a tool and why I've been able to be so consistently profitable. What was that? 101.30? 101.30, 101.30. Sarah and Rome? Wait, Cloak, did you not see me set up a range on Cloak? On Rome, Cloak. You didn't see me set up that range on Rome. So did you learn this by research or be shown by someone? So, great, thanks. I love the idea of doing this. It is so simple and worthwhile. Yes, for sure. And feel free to, if you're confused, obviously you're not going to get it in one explanation from me on stream, but I have a lot of content on my TikTok and my YouTube that you can look through, and you should be able to learn a good bit, have some more simple explanations. Yes, I saw. Okay. But yes, I am in Rome now, Cloak. Yes, you are safer, but we are here to make it not gather change from little fees. I mean, if you want to think about it, that's not life-changing. I mean, it's pretty life-changing for me. Obviously, but you have to keep in mind, though, I've been trading meme coins since January 2024. I made a good amount of money between January 2024 and June 2024. But in June 2024, I had taken my portfolio very, very high, just trading flat out. I used to trade on BonkBot or whatever. I was down like 50% from all-time highs, and I had round-tripped so many bags, and I was like kind of lost. I was like not winning on trades anymore. So Meteora came by. I started a new account with 1.5 Solana, and I've now grown it to 150. So even though they're little fees, they stack up. They stack up. And if you look at the P&L curve that I have, it's pretty up and to the right. And on top of that, they rewarded their holders, and they airdropped me 72,000 tokens, which is worth around 30,000 right now. So obviously not insanely life-changing money, but like they rewarded me for using their platform so much. And keep in mind, I came to this platform with what, $200, and I've turned it all into this with just 200. So in terms of exponential growth, right, you're not going to hit these big ones that you see on Axiom where you're turning one SOL to 50, but over time I've grown this account. Okay. No it has to be a troll at this point. Check out 6-7 coin is viral and was easy to catch for multiple X's. If you bought the new official 6-7 token, I don't have too much respect for you because the initial 6-7 token is honestly what should have ran. This one was the OG. It got vamped, but I was actually playing this back in the day, so I faded the new one because I didn't like that the kid just came in. I was like, oh, this is the official one, because it's kind of like, well, we should actually be running the OG one, but it's whatever. But yeah, 6-7 was an example I give that if you spotted this early, this is kind of a good token to be in. Fa, right, Rome, Lion, etc. All of those top-down memes that actually have societal presence are always going to be A+ for me. Inspired by your story, in fact. Thanks, Armand. I appreciate that. Thank you for the gifts, by the way. I didn't send it. Thank you for the gifts if you're still in here. I didn't even see that. Kuna, thank you for the gift. And Armand, thank you for the gift. I appreciate you guys a lot. This is a launchpad or a trading platform. So it's a trading platform. You can launch certain pools and tokens through Meteora. But I just use it for the liquidity pool section. I might actually end up bidding Fa again. Why not? I sold here. I can have exposure. I'm fine with that. So we're actually gonna set up another pool on Fa. Believe it or not, this token has just been so good to me. We're going to go 5 Solana. We're going to go. Honestly, I'm gonna go 85%. 5 Sol, 85%. We got that. I paid for all of these bins, so thank you to my previous self for doing that. Wait, is this even right? Yeah, it is right. Okay. Something tells me to go minus 87, and I'm gonna do it. Perfect. 87%. I'm a little bit more comfortable with that. Just drained for 700 bands. I'm going to sleep and wake up happy, and someone's sad. What a world. What do you even mean by that? Too easy to vamp. 6-7 was? Or Fa? So if it goes down 85%, you'll still make money. So if it goes 80, so this one's actually minus 87%. If it goes down 87%, it's going to be at the very last spin, right? If it's down 86%, it's going to be at this very last spin. That means I have one more little bin or buy order, you can think about it, until I'm out of range. So if it goes all the way down 87%, I'm probably not going to be in profit. If it gets very good movement, right? If it comes down to here, comes back here, comes down to here, comes back to here, comes down to here, comes back to here, I'm going to make a lot in fees. But at this point in time, I'm probably not going to be in profit, right? I'm going to have to cut the loss. Hopefully I get out break even if I made a lot. But ideally, you want it to come down to here and not really go below. Because once it starts getting to your last bins, it's kind of like danger zone. You kind of start sweating because you're like, am I going to have to cut this pool? I'm down a little bit money now because at this point, your token is going to have depreciated a good amount, right? So you really don't want it to go super, super deep. You want it to bounce around here, have it bounce maybe up to here. You're able to get out for profit, or if you're super confident, hold it for a higher. But basically, yes, you don't want it to go all the way down. You want it to hang around here, get good movement in these ranges, because this is where most of your size is, right? You have more Solana up here. If it moves around a bunch in here, you're going to get more fees than if it moves around up here where you don't have too much liquidity. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Thank you for the follows, guys. Thank you for the follows. I appreciate that. And I'm actually going to add... Fuck, I just broke this in. I'm actually going to add 1 soul on top of this on spot, just for fun. Sweet. I'm glad it makes sense. I'm glad it makes sense. 108 and 40 seconds. What is this? There's a 6-7 coin now. Yes, I do have tutorials. If you follow me and look towards the bottom of my channel, it's going to be a lot more introductory stuff. And as you scroll up on my TikTok, you're going to get more into Meteora specific strategies and introductions to this platform, which is really what 99% of my content is about now. But the whole goal was to onboard people who've never heard about crypto, never heard about meme coins, make it easy for them to get onboarded. So feel free to check the beginning of my page. It should have more introductory info. As you get to Meteora, once you hit that that section where I start talking about that a lot, feel free to look at my YouTube channel, which you can find in my bio. Feel free to look at my YouTube channel. I have like 4 videos up that kind of give you a whole introduction to this platform. But yes, I do have tutorials for this. Yo, what's up, Mace? Not a 6-7 Not a 6-7 coin, a star 6-7. Oh, a star 6-7. Wait, deadass? Is there a limit to how small your pool can be? Would doing this make sense with a very small amount? So the only bottleneck or the only roadblock you have when you're entering a pool, right? For example, on this one, the only roadblock here, let's say I want to open a minus 57% range, you're going to have to pay 0.057 SOL, which is really not that much money anymore. It's like 11 bucks or 6 bucks or 12 bucks, something like that. 11 to 12 bucks to open a position, right? And when it says refundable, that means when you close this position, you're going to get that money back. So here with this position, right, if I go ahead and hit withdrawal and close position here, I'm going to get back 6.13, right? Because I had to pay some rent, even though there's only 6 SOL here. Now, when you do go bigger ranges, right, this one's only covering minus 57%. But let's say I go to what I had set up, minus 87%, I'm going to have to pay 0.13 in refundable. That's okay. So the only barrier is that you have to have some Solana for rent when you open. That's the only barrier to entry you have. So that's why I recommend, you know, at least like $40 to $50. Yo, what's going on here? No problem. No problem. No problem at all, fellas. Star 6-7 is what we wanted to look at. Gosh, come on. Can I get some applause for this FA play? I mean, it's pretty picture perfect. But watch it go to like 5 mil, then I'll start kicking myself. Star 6-7, my bad. Ooh. It graduated and then kind of died. It's honestly not getting bad volume though. And I don't hate the meme, to be honest, but the market doesn't seem to be agreeing. Oh, there's a... Wait, that's not right. These are all fake. These are all vamps. Or... Gosh, people really try to do this just to snag a little bit of volume. Wait, why does it say the 24-hour volume is 144K? It's not the same CA though. Yeah, it's not. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself at this point. And we'll look on Axiom for all of you haters. This bubble map looks a little bit crusty, no? What is this? I do want to see if there's anything made for this token yet. Wait, there actually is a DLMM for this. Honestly, I might get in this just for fun. We can see how maybe a short-term one will work. But it just sucks because we can only get in a range from minus 50%. I guess this is not too bad. Alright, we're actually going to get in. Screw it. We're just going to go one soul spot. You tried deving #1 on deck screener. What do you mean by that? Yeah, we can see if this gets any action. Oh my gosh, someone just... It's actually getting really, really good fees. Do you see how I'm now $51 in range because someone just clipped a bunch? I was able to jug $5 off of that. So I just taxed someone basically 10% just off that. So I'll probably have to cut this if it drops below 20, but it's all good because I won't be risking too much. Wait, how's your Roam LP going? We can look at it. It's probably not doing much. Usually with this sort of price movement and how wide of range I went, it's not going to get anything major. Okay, I'm $8 in range now, and then this is what the chart looks like. Okay, so it's gone down a little bit. You can see I am now $9 in range, and I've collected 30 cents. So really not bad, honestly. I'm happy with that. Let's just hope this thing doesn't rug. I've only made like 30 cents so far, Cloak. I like how there's a guy in the chat asking Cloak for some soul. Yeah, you answer him, Cloak, not me. Damn, Cloak, I've actually said that on stream before. I think I've used that exact analogy. Bro, you're not even following me. I went to follow you back, Cloak, and you weren't even following me, so that's not cool. But you should join the chat for sure. Damn, I didn't even notify the Telegram that we were live, but what was I gonna say? Yes, you should definitely join the group chat and come hang out. There's a lot of people in there that are knowledgeable. You seem like you know what you're doing, so come hang out. You can learn a little bit more. And we're getting cooked on this. 1 second. So we are almost out of range on this. This is okay because I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the loss, but the fee generation is very, very good, as you can see. $9 off of $92 in range. Even if this goes down, I'm gonna lose more on pool depreciation than the fees I made up. But this is like just super, super high. That's because it's such a new pair. So unfortunately all I have right now is a tally, but I was converting more to Soul today, actually, Cloak. 4-to-1 risk reward. Is it 4-to-1? I guess it is. Because Soul is what right now? 135? Oh wait, we're going up on Soul. That's hype. We still haven't gotten any moves up in our pool. Hopefully, if this thing keeps going, we are going to get some movement on the upside. So, okay, nice. We should have gotten some bin movement there. There we go. See? So now we have 79 cents of Solana. I know it's like scraps, but if you are in something that's moving... Sorry. If you're in something that's moving like this, right, and has these big price movements, you're going to get a lot. Can you send me a soul? I cannot. How do you feel about Ethereum memes? Unfortunately, Crypto God, I don't know too much about Ethereum memes. I always have an excuse not to bridge to other chains, and the main one is that Meteora only exists on Solana, and I know that's pretty narrow-minded, but usually I have a lot of Pepe, SHIB, and Doge from long ago, but that's about the only Ethereum memes I hold. Are you making fees off of supplying liquidity? I'm trying to understand what you're trading. Yes, I am. That is correct. Nice. We got some more bin movement. So basically, my strategy, what you'll see if you look at my videos, all I do is I usually go 99% of the time. I just go bid side, right? Instead of going traditional liquidity pools are going to be two-sided, right? You're going to have some token, which is this purple, and some soul, which is this blue. But you can eliminate risk by not depositing any tokens. You can just go one-sided, just have bid side liquidity, and this way you are not buying the token for the upside. Obviously, you're not going to make anything if it goes up, but you're not going to lose anything. So going bid side, providing liquidity is what I do 99% of the time. I followed you here, and whichever you want. We bounce around. I have different channels, but general's fine. Welcome, brother. Yeah, whichever one. It doesn't really matter. Which Ethereum memes You say you hold. The only thing I have is like Doge, Pepe, and Shib from long ago. So nothing like new. No SPX 90. None of that. Unfortunately, the Meteora stream didn't get too much juice tonight, but we hit a good one. I think I'm going to go ahead and head off of the LP Army stream. Thank you, Fariz, for tuning in. Hopefully we get some replays on this. I thought it was pretty eventful, so I will see you guys next time. Meteora, the LP Army, thank you again for hosting me.